Hi, I'm Dr. Nikita Vizniak with the amazing patient, Catherine. And Catherine came in with a disc herniation, I want to say 3 weeks ago, or?
3 or 4 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, but her case is kind of interesting, actually. What really got me excited is she is a new mom, and give me just a quick history on how it was treated to begin with.
So I guess when she was about 3 weeks old, I hurt my back somehow. I'm not sure how I did it. And I had to go to the hospital where they kept giving me shots of morphine and an Advil type, naproxen, I believe it was, and which I couldn't breastfeed on because it's not healthy for the baby. So I had to start pumping and dumping and losing that kind of soothing connection that was obviously important to me as a new mom.
For sure, it's a huge outcome, but just so people are clear, how bad was the pain? Like,
Oh, it reached a 10. It was horrible. Like, I couldn't walk, I couldn't sit. There was nights where I just stood.
Yeah, it was incapacitating.
Yeah,
so legitimately 10 out of 10 pain is here what we're looking at. And you were even talking about your sleeping positions. What was the only way you could find to sleep?
The only way I could find to sleep was being in child's pose. So I'd have my knees up underneath my stomach and my head on the bed, and I'd start there and then I'd fall asleep like that.
Yeah. So it's a position that decompresses her spine, so she naturally found that for herself. Mm-hmm. Then you came in to see me, and what were some of the things that we did?
The first time I came in, it was a lot of talking about what exactly was going on with my body, which I found super helpful.
Education,
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things, because it made me feel less stressed about how I moved.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the big ones, is I was scared of hurting myself more.
Absolutely, and you see that in so many patients. People come in and they're in this 10 out of 10 pain. They're like, will I ever get better? And the biggest part is just educating them to realize there is light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah. It didn't feel like it.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Yeah. And then what else did we do on that first visit?
We did lifting up my leg and seeing where the pain was, and finding the points where I should stop.
Yeah. And so that was huge for you too.
Yeah.
So she's describing a straight leg raise test for those therapists and doctors out there watching this as well. But we positive straight leg raise, we showed her how she could move and what her ranges were, what she could accomplish and not accomplish, and actually challenging those zones a little bit, right?
Yeah, so when I could feel the tingling in my foot intensifying, I knew that was a motion that I couldn't hold for long, or I shouldn't hold for long.
Yeah, exactly. She could still explore it, find it, but don't go into it or hold it for too long of a period of time. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
So we didn't do too much the first time, but that was I just kind of got a mental relief from it, knowing that it felt like it could be fixed, because at that time when I first came in, I didn't feel like it could be.
Yeah, and that's a huge, that's probably the biggest part of this treatment overall, is just her belief in future wellness, right? That it's there and it's available. So then moving on, what are some other things that we did on the second visit then?
On the second visit, we explored some different stretches.
Yep.
Different ways of lying.
But we also did some cat-cow exercises, right?
Yes.
Where we had you moving and flexing your spine again in an unloaded position, so it showed you more range and how it was available.
Yeah.
We took her knees and did some light windshield wiper actions as well. And even that shows what she couldn't do on the first visit, she's able to do a little bit more on the second visit.
Yeah.
Here we are on our third visit, and you can just see gradual progression. Things are getting better.
Oh, way better.
Yeah. And tell me about the what you are actually doing this weekend and stuff. You're measuring the overdose.
I was going out. Decided to go out to the Italian days on the drive, and I definitely would not have gone anywhere even last week, because I still felt tight and insecure about going to a large area with crowds where I'd have to be walking and that there's no seating. And so I went out there, and I was there for about 15 minutes when I started feeling like a little bit of pressure and a little bit of pinching. And at first I was a little upset, thinking, well, I only stayed for an hour overall, but then I also realized that I had been somewhere for an hour.
Yeah.
And that was actually pretty exciting.
Exactly. You can see that your return to normal activities is there on the horizon for you, right? And I think that's one of the big outcomes that I really appreciate out of this. I mean, off the morphine, the breastfeeding again was my number one thing that most people don't think about associated with disc herniations or low back injuries that you want to have back, but then all the rest of the outcomes that we can see here. So just a fantastic case, and I just want to thank Catherine so much for doing this, and thank you.
Awesome.